Some call him the Keepa expert, I know him as Gavin, but whatever you call him, his journey to 7 figures has been nothing short of impressive. He literally just touched it, or just missed it in the UK by a few £1,000s, shut down his business and then restarted again in the USA, and now he's broken 7 figures in the US. His name is none other than Gavin Sweeney, and I'm super excited to be sat here with him live right now to go through some Keepa charts and to understand some deals about the way he sees it and to share that back with you. So stay tuned. I'm super excited to hear this from Gavin today.
Thanks for the intro, Tom. Super excited to get straight into this. I have a wholesale business that does about 120 to 150k a month. I have a shoe business that also does about 120 to 130k a month. And I still analyze all the products myself. Why? For me, this is the most important aspect of our business. Like, some say it's sourcing, but I say it's the analysis of the products. I tend to separate them. So I'm going to be jumping into this to show you guys exactly how I look at these products. And we have a few good ones lined up here where we'll be explaining a few different things, and when you should be annoyed with your VA if they submit one of these, because I bloody well would be.
I love it. So if you guys want to know, today we're going to go through really 5 deals. Number 1, we're going to go through some red flags, simple things to look out for on a Keepa chart. Gavin calls this when to fire your VA, which I absolutely love. Number 2, we're going to go through some sneakers, and we're going to look at the dangers of popular websites and what that looks like on the Keepa chart. Number 3, we're going to go through how to review items with no bestseller rank, so you can understand that. We're going to also do number 4, get it right, Tom, which is going to be how to spot and understand market cycles. And then finally, number 5, Gavin's actually going to do a live deal analysis from start to finish of a product that we've looked at, and it's quite an interesting one. And obviously, if you guys have got any questions or anything, drop it down below, and we'll drop some links as well to Gavin and my profile. But I just want to say, Gavin, thank you so much for this. So let's get started. Let's jump onto the computer, because we've got them right here. Let's start looking at some red flags right now of Keepa. So Gavin, jump on, talk us through, what do we see?
All right, cool. So this one we see here, so if we assume that we're just going to look at the first 3 months first, what we see is a price of 43, 45, right? So, and it depends on which point we're looking at that, because depending on the ROI that you see, it could be like too high. So if you look here, we have the buy price of 12, the sell price of 45. Now, when something's out of stock for a long period of time and there's been no sales history, you don't really know how hard this product is to find. But what we do know is that the first people who are going to come onto this product listing will inflate the price massively. And what does that do? That entices all other Amazon sellers to hop on. Because we're looking at this thinking, oh, 80% ROI, yes, amazing. I can buy like 40 or 50 units and then get rich. No. So the first thing to do on this listing is that actually we do have a small glimpse. So here we have a price of 37 on FBM, right? So if I flip it to the year graph, now look what we have. We have more of a standardized price around 34, 35. So and even cheaper. It means that people are getting this at a price where it's profitable for them to sell at this price, right? So if we're going to sell this product at 35, so that's only 10% ROI. Now, if you were a normal seller and that's what you've seen, you wouldn't buy it. So why does it look so good now? Just because the ROI right now is just like stupidly high. But that ROI does not reflect the value of the product. The value of this product on Amazon looks like it's going to be around selling for 35. And especially with a buy cost of 12 is what we found. With a buy cost of 12 and a sell price of 45, that's a massively inflated price already. You're selling it for 3.5x, right? So as I mentioned before, this entices Amazon sellers to hop straight into this listing. And really, I don't need to spend long looking at this graph. I can just see the velocity of the offer count, and depending on how that does, we just avoid it. If a VA submitted this for me, and I was looking at, let's say this was the data.
Probably come back a bit more. This not May 20th, for example. Look at that and be like, whoa. This is like a classic one that you'll see, and I've seen it so many times, whereby the bottom graph, the new seller count is just going up and up and up. Be like, but it's still profitable, sir. It's still profitable. You're like, wait for it.
Yeah, and these nukes. And the thing is, what we care about is where will the price be when we get it into Amazon. If this has a 3-week lead time to get it into Amazon, where will the price be in 3 weeks? If you have seen the offer count, right, start at 1 or 2, and from the 1st of May to the 16th, it's then at 8. So okay, it's not gone up too much, it's gone up by 7. So let's give that another week and see what happens. And then we can see it continuously go up. And at that point, it's obvious it's not going to be a good buy. And what's interesting, at this point, this graph shows that, or SAS says, it's selling 169 per month. But that's probably more reflective of the actual sales here. But I still don't think it's going, maybe it is selling a good amount. But anyway, we can see that the offer count does continue to rise and rise. So if you're not sure if you should buy an item, because the offer count is rising exponentially, we can assume that the price of the listing will go down. And then the question is, where do you think the price will go? Let's have a look comparing the price of where the price used to be. So look, consistent price, 35, 28, and look where the price has gone now. It's basically reverted back to the mean. Now it's at 32.
Yeah.
So I guess if you factor in inflation, that kind of works out.
Well, you could say, the one thing I'd just say about this graph, and by the way, I've had so many VAs who've submitted deals like this before, whereby that new seller count is going up. 2 things I've always done, or that we look at. Number one is look, if you're not sure, just sit on it for a week and watch the buy box price, because we always see that when the new seller count goes up, the buy box price doesn't crash straight away. It generally takes about a week or 2 weeks before you start to see the impact of it. Number 2 is the fact that understand the price now, or back in May, around here, is reflective of the conditions at that moment in time. So you see the offer count is 6. But as you come in and put the new offer count up to 23, it starts changing, and we generally see there's a delay on the supply and demand. And again, you're the question is, okay, there's 23 sellers. Let's go back in time. Look when there was a time when there's 23. And I don't know if you want to zoom out, Gavin, and grab that.
Yeah.
Go back to here when there's when was there 23 sellers in the past? Let's do that. And then look at what the buy price was then. You're like,
35.
Wow. And what's the buy price today? Well, it's 35. You're like, well, actually, we can just see that the price hasn't adjusted to the number of sellers yet. It will happen in time.
Actually, when that happened, it tanked massively.
Yeah, and guess what happens now?
Yeah.
And as Gavin says, what do you call this? This is called fire my VA.
Yeah, fire the VA. Why are you submitting this? We know where the price is going. And this is another thing to consider, right? What does it mean that it's been out of stock for so long? It means that there's been no stock in the market, and that's why the first person who buys that stock is going to get the maximum price for the stock. So they're not going to put it at a price that's reasonable. They're just going to put it as high as possible, and then everybody else finds it, oh, this is amazing, and then everybody buys it, and it just obliterates.
Absolutely. Right, let's jump on to the next one. So you talked about sneakers and the dangers of popular websites. So talk me through that.
Okay, so the reason I'm talking about this is actually a shoe that we purchased quite a long time ago now. I'm not going to jump in super depth into the analysis, but if we just look at this, right, so we see an initial buy price of 87, and we bought this shoe for around $40, I believe. So if we're buying it for 40 and we're looking to sell it for around 85, the ROI is not perfect, but it's okay. And for a shoe ROI, this is really quite a standard ROI. There's nothing super impressive, but it will pass most people's metrics. Now, the problem with this is that this was listed on eBay on a sale. And eBay is a website that pretty much everybody uses. So because everybody looks at this website, the listings from eBay can be very fragile unless they have limited stock. So let's say, for example, you see the sale, you see this item, for whatever reason you don't want to buy it, and then you come back a month later, this item is still on sale. This supplier has a lot of stock, or nobody's buying it. So we can look at the offer count for that. But what we do see in this scenario is that the offer count kind of rises exponentially. And you might be looking at from 9 to 25, it's not a great amount, but this is for a shoe, right? 90k BSR for a shoe that has multiple variations, multiple sizes. So actually, over a 100% increase on offer count is absolutely massive. Then instantly you get the people reacting to this. So again, we get people reacting.
The prices just start competing, don't they?
Yeah. Although I don't think this bit is a repricer here. I think that's someone just getting completely stressed out and annoyed and screw this, send it to hell.
That could even be someone one seller comes on at a low price by accident, and then everyone else meets them. And now you've just crashed the price by what?
Yeah, and to add to what you said, actually, if we look at this, we can see a new price here go down, down, down. And So look, new party FBA. So maybe someone reduced the price whilst it was back ordered. So back ordered.
So it means it's waiting to come into Amazon's warehouses.
Yeah, right.
And then this is, so the moment it comes on sale, Amazon now gives it the buy box.
Yeah.
Everyone else has repriced to crash down to meet it, and now you've just crashed the listing.
Yeah, and that listing will get nuked. But a listing like this will continue to get nuked anyway, to be honest, because the offer count is just too high. It's just not selling enough. And we can see that over the duration of the time. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, but this is just one size. What about the other sizes? Well, if one person is looking at one size, they're looking at all the sizes. And this is a mistake that we made by buying this when we were still new to shoes. I wasn't giving this enough attention. So we bought lots of these shoes, right, of multiple colours, same sizes, but it's the same parent ASIN. Like, it doesn't, you're putting in the same amount of risk because it's just one shoe. I just see it as one shoe because if you have all the colours and you have different sizes for all of these colours, then everybody else will be seeing exactly the same data as you. It's not like you're buying two different beauty products from two different websites. If someone's going to be buying one of these shoes, chances are they'll be buying different colours of these shoes too. So I guess one thing is, what you could look for is have a look at other sizes for these shoes and see if there's any patterns. So if you're thinking of buying this, it's on a very popular website, it hasn't yet tanked. The question could be, have any of the other sizings or colours tanked yet? That could be a good indication that in due time, the one you want to buy is also going to tank. Because initially at first, people will always want the most popular colours, but they're also the ones that sell the quickest. So they might be looking at these popular colours and thinking, yeah, we'll just buy them. They tank. Is there any data on this?
That one's not tanking. No sellers. What about the red one?
The red one went to hell.
No, but what about different sizes on the red one? Oh, you're looking at different variations, like the blue
Yeah,
one.
because like with shoes, like a white would sell a lot quicker than a red, or a black would sell a lot quicker because it's just it's a much more popular colour. And if you
can see there, yeah.
Because it's a more popular colour, more people will buy this colour. So then we have a counter argument that maybe it's better for these that super popular websites to buy the weird sizes and to buy weird sizes, different colours, and just maybe buy like one pair. Because you could argue then it's that less chance of tanking, but then if other people are thinking that, then you're never going to sell it.
I think there's one bit of advice I will kind of offer with this, which is, and we had the conversation outside, is should you niche down in regards to your sourcing or should you just go wide? And I argued massively from my own learning, and this is a recent change that I've done, is you should niche down, really go super deep, or like just understanding like sneakers, for example, that's all you do. And the reason is because lessons like this are only learnt through that should we say, experience. That buying from eBay when there's a big sale on, you've got to make sure that they haven't got much stock, otherwise you are going to get shafted. And you'll never learn that lesson, or by the way, you will pay for that lesson in your profits or lack thereof, because you're going to keep buying these nice eBay shoes and they're going to keep crashing, but you'll never learn that lesson in life. So I think when we're talking about like, I know at eBay, I know Sports Direct in the UK, basketballs is a classic one that, like they sell really well, but they just don't the competition becomes too competitive, they've got too much stock, and as a result, what is a good listing gets ruined. And I've seen it time and time again, and you pay for that because you don't understand the market that you're operating in.
Exactly, and with shoes is so huge, you can just do like one brand or two brands of shoes and really understand that super well. And here's another one, because this is the fastest selling listing for this shoe, right? And if you look, the offer count went from 7, and look, this just got obliterated as
80
well.
80 down to 50, wow, 40, wow.
But fortunately, I say fortunately, but this one has like a better chance of recovering. It's one of the fastest selling items. But look at how long it's taken. Do you want to wait that long from
January to June, isn't it? 6 months to wait for your price
to get just above 60, and that's still going to be a loss.
Wow. Okay guys, one thing I just want to say, if you are interested, Gavin has actually put together a really good Keepa course, which is like lots and lots of videos, hours of him analysing deals, talking through his knowledge and what he's learned over the years. And what I'll do is I'll put a link down below, so if you're interested in getting Gavin's Keepa course, check that out. Like, I think it's really educational. I've got it myself, I've shared it with my team, my sources, and it's helped them a lot. So have a look at that link down below, that's going to help you. Right, let's move on. So let's talk about reviewing items with is no bestseller rank. Talk me through that, show me what you're seeing.
Right.
How do you do this?
So the first thing that we're looking for actually is a fluctuation of the offer count. Yes, people are going to say, oh, it could just be FBM removing their orders. If you see like a healthy trend of an offer count of like a fast selling item and it looks similar to this, chances are it's not going to be just because of FBM, right? Because let's look at this. And we can also look at how the price moves in fluctuation of the offer count as well. Because if it was just FBM, like, and dropshippers going up and down, you wouldn't really get the market fluctuations. So let's have a look. Right, so for this item, we can see the offer count go up, and then look, offer count starts going straight down, price goes up. And if you think about it, that's what you would see on a normal listing. And here's the other thing, we also have access to the subgraph here as well. So we can see the subgraph reached about 147, and then as the price goes up, the subgraph starts increasing. So we don't have the BSR, but we also have a subgraph that helps us. And let's think about this. What is this item? Lululemon All Night Festival. When did festivals start? When did you know?
Summer?
like late summer, yeah.
Autumn,
yeah.
yeah.
Summer. And if you look, August, September, boom, it started just flying.
All Night Festival bag. What do they do? Do people Google festival bag?
And you can see it here as well. Yeah, they would do. But Lululemon's a super popular brand though.
Fine.
So if we look here, we see the price go from 80, and then all the way down to 57. Look at how this matched it, right? Shortly after, it immediately matched it. So we've seen a massive improvement.
So I'm guessing for you what you're saying is, while you can't see the BSR itself, you're looking for correlations between changes in price and changes in new seller rank, i.e. when someone comes off the listing, the price will generally change because it's a different competitor now. And obviously, like, this is going to be a lot harder on slow selling ones, but on fast selling ones like this, it's going to be a lot easier to sell. And you can use that sub-rank graph to give you a good indication as well. And I think I'm going to come back to a point you told me a couple of days ago, which is you're trying to layer on information. There is no one bit of information to look at. You're trying to build a picture, and what you're looking for is that picture, all the information in the picture is aligning. It's kind of all agreeing with each other.
Exactly, yes.
Not, like, oh, this one thing says this and the other thing says something completely different. That's a red flag. Whereas if everything's kind of the same, you're like, cool, this kind of all sounds right. I'm getting a good feeling for this. Let's do a test purchase.
Exactly. So we've gone through that, we spoke about that, but let's also have a look at the stock history and then include historical offers. This might get a little bit messy.
We turn off the used. We don't want to be part-time sellers here, do we all?
So
just zoom across right a second. Yeah.
So if we look at this, when we first looked at this, it looked like a straight line down, but that's because we got it on the 1 year or all. But actually, if we zoom in on that, that actually looks like some healthy sales, and that was in April when there was no BSR. We got exactly the same again here. So we can see the stock's offer count moving, and it's important to know the data for this is far more accurate when we're looking at prime FBA offers.
Why is that? Why can't we do like the FBM offers?
So it can be accurate, but the challenge we have is that if they're a big seller, they could either remove their stock, they might have like an automated system, they might be shipping it from their own retail house.
They could be selling like eBay and stuff, couldn't they?
And that would automatically deduct the stock from Amazon at that time.
Even though it's not selling on Amazon?
Yeah, which would then look like a sale, because stock history is just tracking the stock on a daily basis for that user.
And I think the one thing which I kind of ask you a question, like, can you see here it says like sold in the middle and it's got sold in 30 days. Why are you not reading that? Why do you not read that 57 there and go, wow, this is sold 2,391 at the bottom, like it's selling 61 per 30 days. You can see that down the bottom. Why do you not look at that number?
Perfect. So if we look at this, right, what we see here, sold 46, whatever, from 1 to 10, back down to 1. And that went down in just a complete straight line. So if I see a seller and their stock count goes straight down in a vertical line, then that doesn't indicate sales to me. They could have removed their stock, it could have went into a backorder status, anything could have happened. as you said it earlier, we're looking for like a staircase down, like a gradual increase down, which is what this looks like, right? If we look at this here is a gradual decrease. So this to me is a good indication that the item is selling.
Cool.
Now, if it's a variation listing, another thing you can do is look at the rating. So,
we had a good debate about this earlier, didn't
yeah.
we?
So if we look here, the rating review count.
So rating or review count?
So rating on the variation, because you can see that going up, but not on this chart here.
Yep.
This chart we care about the review count. And if we look, we can see the review count going up like massively. And the thing is, would the review count be going up if it wasn't selling?
No.
Exactly, because it's not possible. And
Everyone's giving it fake reviews.
yeah, for no reason whatsoever.
And question for you, like for me, whenever I do a deal analysis, I kind of do two things. Like I try and look at sales per month and I think about reviews. And I say something to myself personally, I say, a review can indicate a certain number of sales. Now I always try and look at the product and go, if the product is a product that people might review, let's say for example a nice festival bag, I think a lot of people review this product. Yeah. But also as well, if there's a product that isn't something you're going to review, like maybe like toilet bleach, a very utilitarian product that no one really cares about, like toilet paper, like might not review, then I'd probably suspect that it would do a lot more sales per review. And a general rule of thumb I work by is roughly about 100 sales per review, very rough, but it can be as low as 50 per review or even up to 200. So again, this bag, I'd probably say maybe 50 sales per review because it's quite a reviewable item.
I haven't really worked out anything like that because when I see this, I would probably just do like a test buy of maybe 20 or 30 units. Because it's pretty good indication that they sell well. But maybe I wouldn't just buy 100 or 200.
Agreed. I wouldn't go deep either. Yeah.
But the good indication that we get from this is, well, actually, there's another good one, guys. Always have a look at the reviews. So I always tell my team if it's 4.2 stars or below in terms of reviews, which means you see 4 stars here, always have a look to see what's going on. Because as we just seen, there is a whole lot of complaints. So it's not black gold, it's black silver.
Be careful. Be very
So this
very
says black gold. Is it? That's silver. But then, not everybody will return it because of this. Is that suede as well?
I have no idea. Maybe they take it to the festival and then return it after the festival.
It could be. Is that suede though? It looks like suede. So I would say suede has a much higher return rate than normal products. Some people like it, some people don't.
But let's do this. That would come back to the point that understand the niche that you're selling in. Because if you understand bags or even the fabrics, you'll start to notice these patterns.
Exactly.
Whereas if you sold everything, you would just go, oh yeah, looks good, looks like a good deal, and you'd be like, no, suede, be super careful.
But if you don't understand it and you want to go into it, data first before you start going hardcore.